Hello and welcome to the Google Digital Garage. My name is Joe Kelly Muldoon. I've been working on this project now for approximately 4 or 5 years. I run my small sort of marketing agency, so I'm hoping to bring some of this knowledge to you today. I've personally used a bit of Google Sites, which we're going to touch upon today. So any questions, do feel free to ask. We do have a moment or two to answer those questions. Before we get going, I'm just going to cover a little bit of housekeeping. Top right hand corner, approximately where my finger was pointing then, there is a refresh button. If at any point we have any problems with sound or audio, do feel free to just hit that refresh button and it should sort that out. Any additional questions today, we should be able to have a conversation, have a question with Rashan, who is the moderator for today's session, one of the Google Digital Garage trainers. So do introduce yourself, say hi. And hopefully that'll give you a bit of an idea of how you can interact with myself and how today's session will go. Today, we're going to go through 3 nice bite-sizable chunks, and it's all going to be based around building and optimizing your site to hopefully get yourself a little bit more visible on Google. So we're going to have build your site. If you haven't done this already, we're going to go through a really nice, quick, step-by-step process to give you the best opportunity to start that ball rolling. Then we're going to go through a little bit about tools that we can use to test your site. So it gives us that little bit of option so that you can see, has I done well? What's gone wrong? How could I improve this? And then last of all, a little bit of optimization. Everyone likes to sort of make the site, understand how they can do it. But then at the end, there's little tweaks and little bits and bobs that we can do. So we're going to go through one of those. So first of all, build your site. What we're going to discuss about building your site is an amazing tool that Google provide, either with a Gmail account or a Workspace account, a Google Education account, or even a Google charity account, so under the .org arm. So you get an option of being able to build your own website. It's something called Google Sites. This is really good for wireframing if you're building a website and it needs to be a bit more than Google Sites, but it's also really good for quickly building something to get you online presence so that you're visible on Google, so that people can see you, and so you've got a basic website. This could be the first steps or a well-developed site for a basic need, say, for example, like a coffee shop or a dog grooming business. You can embed Google Forms, embed videos, have pictures, have content that is basic, but doesn't need to be anything more. So we're going to go through some step-by-step process. Remember, they've now built into this templates. So if you're not great at design, maybe you just need to have a little play. You can literally inject the templates into your site. They'll have 3 rows of pictures, a bit of text, a button. So you don't even really need to fully understand how to make a website to build this. And until you've finished it, you don't publish it anyway. So you can play to all of your heart's content. And even better, you don't need any software. It's all web-based. It's all really easy to use. But most importantly, it's totally free and an amazing tool to get you on your website journey. So here you have Google Sites. If you're not sure how to get to this, you can just go to sites.google.com, or the little waffle menu in the top right-hand corner of your Google account. You may have to scroll down and it's a purple symbol for Google Sites. Then have a little play. The best thing here is to play before you invest your time to get used to the tools. So go to templates, find the templates that suit you. Find something that, is it professional? Is it informal? Is it a coffee shop? Is it a car business? There's not an absolute plethora of templates, but there is certainly a lot of templates on there that will give you an amazing opportunity to accelerate the growth of your website from the basic stages. What's also really cool about this is that your work will be saved automatically. So none of the days where you used to accidentally restart your computer crashed. No, literally, as soon as you stop typing, as soon as you stop editing, it will save that moment in time onto your website so that you don't have to think about this. Another thing, become decompartmentalized into let Google do it for you. So this is Google Sites. This is the template section. You just go to the top corner and hit template gallery, and then you choose the template to match your, let's just say match your mood for now. Then once you're on the website, you've set up your website. How do you set up your pages and customize your layout? You can see here this little video happening. If you want to add a new page, you can literally just go to the plus menu on the right-hand side and you hit plus. You then type in the name of the site, you type in the name of the page that you want to add. And then, as you saw a second ago, you can just drag it up and drag it down. And then you can see in the middle of the screen here, we add a new page, type in the page name. Once you've typed this in, you can change the order, and you can see then the buttons start to change the order too, so that you can make it how you want it to be. Choose your theme, something more professional, something more informal, something that suits your vision of how you want to use this website. You can then choose your color and your font style, and straight away this gets applied to every single individual page and every single bit of text throughout the whole website. And this is literally a game changer when it comes to quickly developing content, quickly developing a site. And if you've not got a site and you want to build a site, this is by far the easiest, cheapest way of doing this. Do have a look online for more advanced sites. You can add stuff like PayPal buttons to make it so you can actually take payments through this. You can embed Google Forms so that you can have booking systems. And you can even create a nice Google Sheet that links to that Google form, and it can fire emails out to automatically reply to people who send these. Link this in with a Google Calendar. All of a sudden, you could have a section to book out their own slots. It's really how big is your imagination and how good are you at Googling. If you're good at Googling, you'll certainly accelerate your growth here. So things to consider is that when you're on here, you can add collapsible groups so that you can see content expand and contract. So if you've got a lot of information, it gives you that option. A table of content, I can't think of many examples of why you would need this, but maybe if you have a long bit of blog content, it could be really useful to click on it and it jump down to that section. Image carousel, just to make it a little bit fruity, make it a bit more interesting. Image carousel, it will rotate through your pictures just to give you that professional edge. Button, this is probably the most important tool here. So do not underestimate the use of a button. The use of a button is how you are going to create your CTAs. And if you don't know, that basically means call to action. This is how you get people to buy now, find out more, contact me, book a free call, book a time for you to receive a call, or a callback button at your convenience. All of a sudden, this button should stick out. You click on it, it either goes to a Google form or it goes to another website, possibly like Calendly. This is a really good free tool to book in your own content. So that's Calendly, if you could add that to the little chat, and then follow the prompts within each one. So if you're not sure and you're like, whoa, there's loads of information, play. I didn't get any formal training on this. I just played with this when I used to work at a school to make an intranet site. But if you drag and drop objects onto the page or double click, it then sort of takes you through a step-by-step guide. And as it says, follow the prompts within each type of content and edit and add to your site. An amazing tool, really quick, really simple. Use a theme to choose your style, add the pages, change the order, change the content, boom, you've got a website. I would recommend Googling, because it's in the options in the settings, how to add your own domain, so that instead of it being sites.google.com/your website name, you can have your own domain like joe.com or joeswebsite.com. Just Google, how do I add my own domain to a Google site? It's really quick these days and actually quite simple to do. And when you finish, do not forget to add this to Search Console and add your analytics codes. I've not got any more time to go into that, but please do this. And then once you've finished all your playing about, or your styling, all of your website, you've made it look cool, you made it look on point, please add your logo and add your favicon as well. The logo will appear in every page, and the favicon will appear in that little square on the tab on Chrome, Safari, Edge, whichever one it is, and just massively hones in that branding. Pick your logo, add it to your navigation bar, have a look at your website. Well done. That, even though I'm saying this, is technically how simple it is to build a website. And if you invested, I would say, less than 4 hours of dedicated time, I genuinely believe if you had some content that's already been written up on paper, on a Word document or something, or a Google Doc, you could copy and paste this in, draw it up on paper, and then create it on here in a basic format. So don't underestimate your own skills here. Once you've made the site, we then need to consider, why do we test a site? Why do we even talk about testing? Because it's not always perfect on every device. 53% of mobile users abandon a site that takes more than 3 seconds to load. Why? Because we are like goldfish. If I'm on my page and I'm like, oh, when I put my dog in for a grooming session, I don't have a dog, by the way, but if I did, 1, 2, why is it not loaded? 3, let me find another one. 1, oh, book a grooming session. We have availability. Boom, session opens up. Google form. I book them in for next week, or I get a phone call about it, or a price list. So 3 seconds is enough for you to go yes, no. So make sure that your site opens quickly, and always consider that time opening a site on a mobile phone is one of the most important things, which is why now Google even times things on mobile first, not desktop. So to do this, go to www.thinkwithgoogle.com/feature/test my site. You literally enter your domain in here, and it gives you a list of possible things that you have not got problems with, but things that you could optimize: performance related statistics, usability related statistics, benchmarking you against other domains of similar, of similar content. So other shops, other e-commerce websites, so that you know you're either up to or near those ones. There is a fine balance for functionality over flavor. So what it looks like. If you've got a tool, for example, maybe something that works out the mortgage rate and how much you'll need to borrow against to get a house. If that tool actually creates people staying on your page, but it makes your page load a bit slower, sometimes it is worth keeping some of those tools. Don't always think it's about the fastest site, because if that means it's lead generation and brings people to your website to book a meeting, do consider that side of it. Then last of all, we've now got to creating your site. We've gone through testing my site. We're now going to start talking about optimizing your site. So a really nice little tool to be able to do this is something called, give me 2 seconds, something called, it's gone from my mind. You can essentially go to Google as well. Go to Google and type in image reduction tool. And if not, compressjpeg.com. And what this does is, this image on the left is a good image. It demonstrates this is maybe a product image or something that you're representing in your website. But the one on the right, when you compress it, it starts to get a bit blurry, starts to get a few pixels going off. So this means that someone has either over compressed it or incorrectly compressed it. Both images are the same size, but one lacks quality. You may switch off from this website because that image isn't good enough. You're like, this company is clearly not professional enough to do this. So what you can do is have a look at compressjpeg.com, or go to Google and type in compressjpeg. You can do this with Photoshop. You can do this with Canva. You can do this with Pixlr. All of these are tools to be able to do this. But what's important is you keep the quality, but reduce the size. So for example, this picture could be 1 megabyte in size, which means you have to load 1 megabyte image every time someone goes onto your website. But this other one might be 200 kilobytes, 1/5 of the size, but the quality is lost. A good tool like compressjpeg.com can reduce the size digitally, but also not lose the actual quality. So do consider this, because this is how Google will rank your website depending on how well compressed your images are and the loading speed. So last of all, if you want to do videos, you can literally go to the tool for videos. If they're on your YouTube channel or they're available online, you can literally go search and embed it. I would recommend embedding your own ones in here, just because I don't know if you've got permission for other ones. But what's great about this, really quick and really simple to do. And then if you are struggling, and there are things maybe you don't understand, when someone mentions the word SEO, when someone mentions the word compression, when someone mentions the word headers, and you're like, what's going on? Do think sometimes there's a reason people are specialists. You could spend 10 hours on a website, and then someone could spend 1 hour of paid work and help with some of that content you don't understand, but then you can learn from it and learn from them. So let's bring this all together. Build your own website. It's really easy with Google Sites. Test your page. As much as you might be correct, prove you're correct. Don't use your gut instinct. Then optimize your website for performance to give you the best opportunity of people actually going onto your site and it coming up on Google. And remember, Search Console and analytics is key to even appear on Google in the first place. So sites.google.com. Hopefully this will give you a really good introduction to how you could and what you could use to do this. Then once you've done this, the last thing we can say really here is thank you so much for joining today. Hopefully you've got this in your lunchtime. Maybe you've put a bit of time aside to do this. We've got a quick sort of 30 seconds if you do have any questions, but so far we've not had any. And if no more appear, we've hit the time. Thank you so much, everyone, turning up today. Hopefully we'll see you again in Google for Digital Garage. Do have a look at our website, see what else is available. Enjoy the rest of your lunch. Have a good day all. Bye-bye.